Welcome back to the Market Segmentation lecture series. In the last lecture, we learned what market segmentation is and the 4 criteria that successful segments must meet: substantial, identifiable and measurable, accessible, and responsive. Now, in this video, we're going to examine how we actually segment markets. Marketers use segmentation approaches and variables, which are characteristics of individuals, groups, or organizations, to divide a total market into segments. We have 5 different types of approaches that we'll discuss: geographic segmentation, demographic segmentation, psychographic segmentation, benefit segmentation, and usage rate segmentation. The first approach is geographic. Geographic segmentation refers to segmenting markets by region of the country or world, market size, market density or climate. Essentially, we're segmenting the market based on some sort of geographic feature. Density. We can segment based on density, the number of people within a specific unit of land. Think urban versus suburban versus rural markets. Climate. Climate has a dramatic impact on residents' needs and purchasing behavior. Do individuals in the Midwest purchase the same type of coats as individuals in the Southwest? If they did, the Midwest residents would probably be freezing, or the Southwest residents would be extremely hot if they're wearing the exact same type of coat. When we segment by Midwest and Southwest for winter coats, we make sure we're offering the correct type of coat to the correct geographic market. Region. Different regions have different preferences, needs, and cultural characteristics. Let's apply this to streaming services. Netflix doesn't offer the exact same content library in every country. Why not? Geographic segmentation. In India, Netflix offers a robust selection of Bollywood films and regional Indian content. In South Korea, they heavily promote K-pop dramas. In the United States, they emphasize Hollywood content and American originals. In Latin American countries, they feature telenovelas and Spanish language content. They're segmenting based on geographic region and tailoring their content library and marketing to each region's preferences. Climate can even play a role. Streaming services might promote different content based on weather patterns. During harsh winters in northern regions, they might push more content, knowing people are staying indoors more. Demographic segmentation uses variables that are easily identifiable and measurable. Demographic variables include age, gender, income, ethnic background, education, occupation, and family life cycle. Age. Products purchased vary significantly by age. An individual who's 18 does not purchase the same products as an individual who's 78. Age is one of the most common segmentation variables. Gender. Gender plays an important role in segmentation. Women drive 70 to 80% of consumer purchasing decisions across many product categories. Income. Income levels influence consumers' wants and determine their buying power. Someone earning $30,000 a year has very different purchasing behavior than someone earning $300,000 per year. Ethnic background. Ethnic groups' buying power is increasing and populations are becoming more diverse. Marketers need to understand cultural preferences and values. Family life cycle. Families at different life stages don't purchase the same things. A single individual purchases many different products than a married couple with young children, who purchases differently than empty nesters. Education. Education level influences product preferences, media consumption, and shopping behaviors. Disney Plus uses demographic segmentation heavily. Age and family life cycle. Their primary segment is families with children aged 2 to 12. They market heavily to parents, typically ages 25 to 45, who want safe, educational, and entertaining content for their kids. Income. Disney Plus prices their service affordably, $19.99 to $18.99 per month, to be accessible to middle-income families, not just high-income households. Compare this to a service like the Criterion Channel, which targets older demographics aged 35 to 65, higher education levels, film students, academics, cinephiles, higher income, willing to pay premium for curated classic films, no children in household. Content is adult-oriented and intellectual. Same industry, completely different demographic segments. Psychographic segmentation is a market segmentation approach based on personality, motives, lifestyles, and geodemographics. This goes beyond who people are, demographics, to look at how they think and why they buy. Personality reflects a person's traits, attitudes, and habits. Clothing is often considered the ultimate personality descriptor. The brands you choose to wear reflect your personality to others. Motives are emotional, rational, or status-driven. What motivates an individual to purchase specific products? Do they purchase based on an emotional appeal? Do they purchase based on rational calculation? Are they motivated by status and what others think? Lifestyle segmentation divides people into groups according to the way they spend their time, the importance of things around them, their beliefs, and socioeconomic characteristics such as income and education. Marketers often use the VALS, Values and Lifestyles Framework, for psychographic segmentation. In the VALS framework, customers are divided into 8 types based on their primary motivations and resources. Let's see how psychographic segmentation applies to streaming. Max targets achievers and innovators. Motive, status and quality. Lifestyle, busy professionals who want premium content. Personality, sophisticated, discerning viewers. They market premium and award-winning content. YouTube targets makers and experiencers. Motive, practical value and variety. Lifestyle, active, tech-savvy, flexible schedules. Personality, independent, anti-cable establishment. They market live TV without the cable hassle. The Criterion Channel targets thinkers. Motive, intellectual stimulation and quality. Lifestyle, film appreciation, learning, cultural enrichment. Personality, thoughtful, educated, values artistry. They market the greatest films from around the world. Geodemographic segmentation is a type of psychographic segmentation that combines both geographic and demographic characteristics to classify consumers. The premise is simple. Birds of a feather flock together. People with similar buying habits, lifestyles, and interests tend to live in similar areas. A popular tool for geodemographic segmentation is Esri Tapestry. There are 60 distinctive segments based on socioeconomic and demographic composition, plus lifestyle and urbanized groups. Let me give you an example using college towns. You can see the segment density of college towns across the United States. For this segment, the median age is 24.6. The average household income is $46,253. The average household size, 2.07. Why does this matter for marketers? If you're opening a sustainable shoe store, you would want to know what areas in the United States match your target customer segment. Benefit segmentation is the process of grouping customers into market segments according to the benefits they seek from a product. This approach groups potential customers based on their needs or wants rather than demographic or geographic characteristics. Let's look at toothpaste. For the most part, all toothpaste fights cavities, gingivitis, plaque, and freshens breath. But how many different benefits can customers receive from toothpaste? We can divide the toothpaste market into benefit segments as follows. Whitening. Customers who want whiter teeth buy toothpaste specifically for whitening benefits, such as Crest 3D White or Colgate Optic White. Sensitivity. Customers with sensitive teeth buy toothpaste that reduces sensitivity, such as Sensodyne or Colgate Sensitive. Breath freshening. Customers concerned about bad breath buy toothpaste with extra breath freshening power, such as Crest Pro Health or Scope toothpaste. Natural and organic. Customers who want natural ingredients buy toothpaste without artificial additives, such as Tom's of Maine or Hello. We all buy toothpaste, but we don't all buy the same toothpaste. Some want whitening, some have sensitive teeth, some want specific flavors. I know several adults who buy children's toothpaste just because they prefer bubblegum or strawberry flavors over mint. We buy based on the benefit that the toothpaste provides. Yes, we're all getting clean teeth, but we want the specific benefit of whiter teeth, less sensitive teeth, better gum health, or a certain flavor. For streaming services, benefit segmentation looks like this. Exclusive content. I want original shows I can't get anywhere else. Netflix originals and Apple TV Plus originals. Live sports. I need to watch live games. ESPN Plus, DAZN, and Peacock for the Premier League. Family safety. I want appropriate content for kids. Disney Plus and PBS Kids. Cost savings. I want to cut cable and save money. Philo and Sling TV. Library depth. I want access to classic shows and movies. Hulu and Max. Ad-free experience. I don't want to watch commercials interrupting my shows. Premium tiers of any service. Different customers subscribe for different benefits, even though they're all watching streaming content. Usage rate segmentation divides the market by the amount of product bought or consumed. Categories typically include former users, potential users, first-time users, light or irregular users, medium users, and heavy users. Segmenting by usage rate enables marketers to focus their efforts on heavy users or develop multiple marketing mixes aimed at different segments. You've probably heard of the 80-20 rule. 20% of customers generate roughly 80% of demand. This makes usage rate segmentation critical for marketers. But should you always focus on heavy users? Let's examine two very different cases. Let's segment Starbucks customers by usage rate. Heavy users visit 5 times per week. Medium users visit 2 times per week. And light users visit once per week or less. If Starbucks is developing a loyalty program, which segment should they focus on? The answer? Heavy users. Because there's a large segment of heavy users who are already loyal. Rewarding heavy users increases retention and spending. Heavy users are already committed and will respond to rewards. It's socially acceptable and even admirable to be a Starbucks regular. Encouraging more coffee consumption has no negative health implications for moderate consumption. Starbucks rewards program gives free drinks, birthday rewards, and special perks to their heavy users, which strengthens loyalty and increases frequency even more. Now, let's look at a liquor store, like Total Wine or Specs. We've got heavy users who visit multiple times per week and buy in large quantities. Medium users visit 1 to 2 times per week, and light users visit monthly or for special occasions. Should Total Wine create a loyalty program focused on heavy users? The answer this time? Probably not. Because heavy users might include people with alcohol dependency. Providing rewards or discounts could encourage problematic drinking. It's ethically questionable to incentivize heavy alcohol consumption. It could create legal liability issues, and it might damage the company's reputation. Instead, a liquor store might focus on light to medium users, encouraging responsible, occasional purchases, potential users, new 21-year-olds learning about wine, craft beer, or spirits, and gift purchasers, people buying for special occasions. We also need to understand former users and potential users. Former users. Why did this segment stop buying the product? In the liquor store example, maybe they went to rehab or joined AA. Should you try to win them back? Absolutely not. In a streaming service example, maybe they couldn't afford it anymore. Could you win them back with promotional discounts? Possibly. Potential users. People who don't currently use the product, but may in the future. In the liquor store example, people who are 20 years old can't legally purchase alcohol yet, but they will be able to in a year. These are potential users you might target when they turn 21. In a streaming service example, people who currently share passwords might become paying subscribers if password sharing is restricted. By understanding former users, current users, light, medium, and heavy, and potential users, marketers get a complete picture of the market. Let's look at an example of streaming services. Heavy users, binge watchers, watch 3+ hours daily. The strategy for these users: keep them with constant new content releases, autoplay features, and continue watching prompts. Medium users. These watch a few times per week. The strategy here: email them about new releases matching their interests. Light users. These individuals watch occasionally. Strategy: risk of cancellation is high. Send personalized recommendations to increase engagement. Former users. Individuals who canceled their subscriptions. Strategy: win back campaigns with "see what you've been missing," or maybe promotional pricing. Potential users, non-subscribers. The strategy: free trials, exclusive content, bundle deals. Now that we've talked about the main segmentation approaches, an important question arises. Should we use one segmentation approach or variable within a segmentation approach, or should we use multiple variables? One option is using just one segmentation approach or one variable within a segmentation approach. For example, segment the market based only on geographic region. The advantages for a single variable or single approach is that it's simpler for marketers to use, easier to implement, less expensive, and faster to execute. However, this approach does have disadvantages. This approach does not produce a precise market segment. For example, if we segment only by Midwest region, do all individuals in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio act the same? Do they all have the same demographic characteristics? Same psychographic characteristics? Same benefits sought? Absolutely not. Single variable segmentation creates broad, less useful segments. The alternative is using multiple approaches or multiple variables within an approach to segment the market. An example would be using demographic segmentation, such as age plus income plus family life cycle. Advantages for using a multivariable or multi-approach is that it produces more precise market segments, there's a better understanding of customers, more effective marketing mixes, and higher response rates. Now, there are some disadvantages. They are harder to use, they are more complex, and as the number of variables increases, segment size decreases. Let's illustrate this with education, income, and age. Single variable using education only. We have large segments: high school graduates, some college, college graduates. Now, if we use two variables, education plus income, we have mid-sized segments: high school graduates earning $50,000 to $75,000 per year, some college earning $50,000 to $75,000 per year, and college graduates earning $50,000 to $75,000 per year. If we use a three-variable approach, education, income, and age, our segments become very precise. Now we have high school graduates earning $50,000 to $75,000 per year who are ages 45 to 54. The three-variable segment is much smaller, but it's much more precise and valuable for marketers because they can create a highly customized marketing mix. The current trend is to use multiple variables for market segmentation rather than a single variable approach because it produces more precise, actionable segments. With modern data analytics and CRM systems, companies can easily manage complex, multivariable segmentation schemes. Let's look at one last streaming service example. We could use a single variable approach, such as the geographic region, which might be West Coast viewers, but that's going to be too broad. If we use a multivariable approach, let's say demographics plus psychographics plus behavioral, now we have West Coast millennials, household income $75,000 to $125,000 per year, VALS experiencers, binge watchers who prefer international content. This is a precise and actionable segment. Netflix can create a highly targeted marketing mix for this specific segment. Let's go back and recap the 5 main segmentation bases. First, geographic: region, density, climate. 2, demographic: age, gender, income, education, family life cycle. 3, psychographic: personality, motives, lifestyles, VALS, and geodemographics. 4, benefit: benefits sought from the product. 5, usage rate: heavy, medium, light, former, and potential users. Remember, each approach has multiple variables you can use. Multiple variable segmentation is more precise than single variable segmentation. As you add variables, segments get smaller, but more precise. The goal is to create segments that are substantial, identifiable and measurable, accessible, and responsive.